Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be You're Never Too Old to Improve. Well, I've got an email success story here from a guy who, I think he said he was 61 years old. And even though he hasn't achieved huge, great successes yet, he feels like at his age, for the first time in his life, he's actually able to accomplish being the kind of guy he always wanted to be. He's always been the nice guy, perpetually stuck in friend zone, and not only that, hanging out and wasting years and years of his life hoping things are going to change with these particular women. So he's come across my work, 61, early 60s basically, and he doesn't look at himself like he's some kind of victim or he was given bad information in life or he's been disadvantaged his whole life. He's saying, hey, I still got breath in my lungs. I still have things I want to accomplish. And I'm still excited about the future. I'm excited about the opportunities that I'm going to experience. And what's cool is he got to a place in his life, even at 61 years old, where he said, you know what, the level of success that I've wanted in my personal life is not acceptable, and I want to do something about that. And that's what you're going to see here in his brief email. But for, because I've got people from 18 years old to people that are 70 years old that I coach. And we all have to have a compelling reason to get up every day. What's interesting is that the average person, when they retire, they usually die within 2 to 3 years of retiring. I mean, isn't that interesting? I mean, you think about, well, why is that? Why is it when somebody worked their whole life, save up money, get a pension, retire, and then 2-3 years after they retire, they're dead? I mean, it's like they're saving up their whole life so they can relax and enjoy their lives, and then they fucking drop dead. And part of the reason is that you got to have a compelling reason. You got to have every man, every woman's got to have some kind of purpose, even if it's being a grandparent or being a parent or having some kind of passionate life's work that you're involved in that makes you feel like you're doing what you were put on this earth to do, like it's your calling in life. Somebody that's totally come along on the inside. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then I'm going to go through his email. And the quote says, "You're never too old to improve, get better, grow, and evolve beyond your current comfort zone and life circumstances. You must first create a vision for your life and what you want to accomplish. Then you must come up with an emotionally compelling reasons why you want to accomplish it. Once you know what you want and why you want it, then you must create a plan to execute, and most importantly, take the actions required to become the person you need to be in order to accomplish what you want." So I say all the time, you got to become the person you want to attract. Then you simply measure the results you are getting, continually adjust and refine your approach, and continue to learn from, model, and improve upon what others more successful than you are doing that enables them to achieve superior results. Success leaves clues. By studying other successful people and doing what they do successfully, you'll achieve your outcomes in the shortest possible time. So obviously in this particular case, this guy is learning from me because I spent literally years and years and years of my life experimenting, succeeding, and mostly failing on trying to figure this stuff out. And then I synthesized that over the course of my life to something where I could teach people through that. And here this guy comes along at 61 years old. He doesn't want to spend the time reinventing the wheel and figuring all this out. And then he comes across my work. He can read my book 10 to 15 times, apply it, and start getting results instantly. So let's go through his email. He says, "Hello, Corey. I just ran across your website. I got the book, and I'm looking forward to reading and studying it. Your book is extremely timely. I just ended a long-standing friendship with a woman that wasn't going anywhere, and it took me a long time to recognize what was happening. I'm 61 years old, and this pattern that I just went through is not new." Well, as they say, if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always got. And you arrive at 61 years old, and you're realizing, like, never getting out of the gate. It's like, what the fuck? And I experienced the same thing, and it wasn't until my late 20s that I really got serious and was like, I have to figure this out. And luckily at that point, I had a business that enabled me to have control of my time. And because I had control of my time, I could spend a lot more of my time really focusing in and drilling down on this area and figuring out once and for all what was missing, what I was doing wrong. He says, I've done this many times before. It's like an audio program in my psyche. Even now, after ending the friendship, I can hear myself thinking, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. We all have doubts, and that's those two fears. So, again, we have two primary fears. Fear that we're not enough, and there is fear that we don't have what it takes, and fear that we won't be loved and accepted by our friends, family, peer group. In this case, his fear is he won't be loved by this girl that he wants. And so he's second-guessing himself, saying, well, maybe if I just kept doing what I've always done, maybe this one will be different. But obviously after 61 years and he's seen the same pattern over and over again, you start to realize, if I do what I've always done, I'm going to continue to get what I've always got. And the reality is most people in life never get to this point, whether it's their job or their career or the business they always wanted to start or getting in shape or that mediocre relationship that they're involved in. They just never really do anything about it. I got one of my best friends from high school. He was like that. He had this girl he started dating back when we were 18, 19 years old, and he was always like, I'm going to break up with her. I'm going to break up with her. I'm going to break up with her. Yeah, I'm just looking for the right moment to break up with her, to end this relationship. I'm just not feeling it. 10 years later, when we're late 20s, well, I'm going to marry her. I was like, I thought you've been trying to break up with her ever since you started dating her. Yeah, but... So he talked himself into getting married. 4 kids later. Now he's divorced. She's kind of a horrible mother. Doesn't really participate. He's kind of having to do everything himself. I mean, that was all because of the story that he told himself. He continued to justify mediocrity in his life. And so he's got 4 beautiful kids that he adores. And he loves being a dad. He's a great dad. But his ex-wife, the mother of his children, she's pretty much fucking useless when it comes to raising their kids. She doesn't make sure they get their homework done. I mean, just all kinds of things. But he did it to himself. He made those choices. He was constantly telling himself, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to get out of this relationship. And then he talks himself into marrying her. Stayed married for 20 years. Got to do something about this, got to break up with her. He finally breaks up with her. I mean, in his mid-40s. He finally did it at least, but, I mean, look at all the time. I mean, you've been talking about doing that since he was 18, 19 years old. Just think how different his life could have been if he'd done that back when we were 18, 19. Something to think about. But the reality is, what matters is what you do right now going forward. And like this particular guy, just like my friend, eventually he got to the point where he pulled the trigger and said, that's it, I'm out of here. I'm done with this. No more. I'm tired of living this way. I deserve better. He says, I went through a classic friend zone, which until recently I hadn't really understood the dynamics, but I fell into it right at the start, and I never had a chance of getting out on my own. I wasted a lot of time, but hopefully that soon will be behind me. And now listen to what he says, and I love his attitude. He says, even at my age, I'm excited to read, metabolize, and apply your book and video concepts. I write this email as a starting point and hope that in the months ahead, I will write one that is a success story. Looking forward to the program. Well, as the old saying goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this is the first step. I mean, I went through something very similar in my mid-30s. I had a lot of success in life, in real estate, and I had known nothing but an upward trajectory in my life. And I came to realize that my heart was going in another direction. And I thought to myself, well, what would I do if I had to start all over? Would I want to change my business model for this real estate business and stay in it? And in essence, kind of start from scratch because the market has completely changed? Or would I want to liquidate everything and become a full-time life coach? And the first, obviously, what came to my mind was I wanted to mentor and I wanted to help people. This hobby that had started when I was in 6th grade, of just memorizing success quotes and studying self-help and personal growth to help myself and become a better, more successful human being. And I want to teach this stuff to other people so they can experience the same kind of success in their lives that I've experienced in my own. And you'll get to read the whole story, a lot of things, a lot of details I've never shared before in my upcoming next book, which is in the editing process. It's all done. Now we're just fine-tuning, editing it, getting it ready for the print copy and all that stuff. And I'll obviously be going in the studio soon to record the audiobook. So as we get closer, I'll keep you guys posted on what the details are and when to expect it to come out. But all I can say is soon. It'll be out soon. And for those of you who would like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.